Hey, Shalom, Shalom, on the start of souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and sincerity. This one, this one's inspired from, we was doing a video and I was just thinking, do people actually understand what pride is? You call Esau, the so-called white man, a proud man, right? But it's what exactly is pride, right? And what you call, I've got this preset here, which basically breaks it down. This is Sirach 10 and 12 and 13. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from the most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. Oh, this is the beginning of pride, right? It says, start doing the own thing, case in point, Esau, right here it is, got the laws, statutes, and commandments written of in the scriptures. And, although they weren't, for him, right, he took them on as if they were his, right? He's pretending to be the Christian, he's pretending to be, whom the world calls Yahweh, Jesus Christ, right? Which we know his real name is Yahweh Shai, right? He's pretending to do all this, so he's taking it upon himself. But what's he then pushing? He's pushing the LGBT, which is against the laws, Leviticus 20 and 13, right? Also was Deuteronomy 22 and 5, a man shall not wear that which pertaineth to a woman, and vice versa. Right? So these are things that he promotes. He promotes abortion. He promotes, lesbianism. All of these different wicked things is what he promotes. All right, so I carry on. This is verse 13. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, right? And he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. All right, so when you're proud, you start, what do these people do? They sin. They go against the law, statutes, and commandments of Most High, because they have this belief that they're in control of their own will, but this is not the case, right? I'll get this for example. It says this is Proverbs 21 and 1. It says the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Most High is really the one in control. You see Donald Trump, you see these elites doing anything. All they're doing is doing the work of the Most High, doing what the Most High is making them do. Don't forget the scripture says, the wicked witch is thy sword, right? Basically referring to how these Edomites ultimately, and they're just doing the will of the Lord, right? And the will of the Lord is to be a sword upon the earth, to furbish that sword, to bring upon a great death to the children of Israel in these last days, right? They've been the hammer of the, he's referring to America's been the hammer of the earth for however long a period of time, right? But whose works are they doing? They're doing the Most High's work, and the proof of that is if they wanted to live forever like they rule forever like they did, they just wouldn't push the chip. But guess what? They're pushing the chip, right? And what do we know is going to happen after they push the chip? That that's when things are going, as the apostle say, that's when things are going to move quick. And would you call it? That's part of the new world order. You read Job the 20th chapter speaks about when he is about to fill his belly, right? Then the Most High is going to come down on him, right? Just on the same vein as Proverbs 21, Job 33:15, right? It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man, right? Because what's man going to say? He's going to say, oh, I did this of my own accord, right? So I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and he's going to think it's of his own accord, and he's going to give himself, he's going to start feeling proud about himself. Right, but that's not the way the Most High works. The Most High is the one that's in ultimate control of everything, right? And that's something that you get the understanding of when you come into this truth, right? Even these elites, they're in the control of the Most High, right? The Most High controls them, man, right? So that he may withdraw from his purpose and hide pride from man, right? Which is why this is gonna be. Let me see if I can find this in James. Yep. So this is James 4. Where should I start? 4:14. Right. It says, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. Right. But now ye rejoice in your boasting, all such rejoicing is evil. Right. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Right, so it's like last bit starts going into something else, but this is basically on that same vein of ultimate. We don't have control of what it is that we are that we want to do, right? That's why we say, Lord's will. You might hear brothers on the video say, Lord's will. I'll come back with another one, or Lord's will. I'll go into this topic, because at the end of the day, we're not in control of everything, right? And part of and thinking that you are is pride, thinking that you can do anything you want without repercussions for your actions. That in itself is pride, right? It makes me think of uh this particular scripture in Luke. Is it this one? No. There we go. So slow down. This is Luke 12:16. It says, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I'll say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided, right? And that's like these people that are, planning to do this, planning to do that. At the end of the day, they ain't in control of any of that. It's the Most High that's in control of whether they even wake up the next morning. Hey, you had that particular, what was that? One of them elites, man. He had all of them heart transplants. Well, he died like a year or two ago, man. It was a year, two, maybe 2, 3 years ago, right? He died, man. Why? Because hey, that's what the Most High wanted, right? Scriptures say, what is that? It says Ecclesiastes 8:8, there is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit. So when the Most High wants to call you in, hey, he gonna call you in. It says, neither hath he power on the day of death. So Esau will speak about, oh, I'm planning this. We're trying to find ways to make people live longer, this and the other. No, but ultimately, right, when the Most High says a particular individual is due to die, that particular individual is gonna die. And it goes on to say that, it says, and there is no discharge in that war, right? Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it, right? So when the Most High says someone's gonna die, they're gonna die, right? Because why? He's the one in control of everything. Scripture says, I kill, I invented to Yahweh, says, I kill and I make alive, right? So grab that. So let's grab this. Proverbs 6:16 says, these 6 things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. And the first thing you read is a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Right? But the point there that I wanted is a proud look. Right? These people walk around in great pride, yet they have no control over their own life. Right? These people are proud. You get these proud women, they can't even stop themselves getting a period, man. Them period crowds, they can't stop themselves. Right? Yeah, they can take this pill, that pill, but if the Lord was like, nah, I'm a fuck you up, the Lord can fuck them up. Can't stop themselves using the toilet. Right? This is Sirach 10:18. It says, pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. right? And why? What has a man got to be proud of, right? In fact, I'm thinking of a scripture. No, it's not this one, is it? This one I want. Okay, no, not really the one I want, but I'll read it. Because this is going into, this whole chapter is good. In general, right? But I'll read from verse 7. It says, as Sirach 10 and 7 says, pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity, right? Once again, this idea that you can just do anything, right? For instance, this free will ideology, that is pride. You're being proud, right? Just thinking, oh, would you call it? Oh, I'm gonna chop my rod off and become a woman. Right? That's being proud. You think, yeah, Esau allows you to do it. Esau will even pay for you to do it. But why is Esau paying for you to do it? Because Esau is as death, as written of in Habakkuk the second chapter. Right? It says pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Right? You're proud, you ain't following the laws of the Most High. You're just doing what you want to do. Do as thou wilt. And that's the spirit that Esau has. He has this do as thou wilt spirit, which is why he pushes LGBT and all of these different things, man, that he pushes, because he's trying to say he's as the Most High, right? He's trying to say, nah, you see that book? Yeah, nah, forget about it, right? It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to the other, right? How did this man, the so-called white man, get this kingdom? He by treachery, by wickedness, okay? It says the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So who's got the current kingdom? This devil's got this current kingdom, right? But what does it say in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9? It says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, right? So Esau is going to be taken out of rulership, and the children of Israel that go through Yahweh Shai, that's a key important factor, through Yahweh Shai, right? The children of Israel are the ones that are going to get the next kingdom, right? And also you see that in the book of Daniel says the saints shall take the kingdom once again by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because we can't take this man down. So it just says, we're ye upon me, right? And for instance, that's another aspect of pride. These jakes that say, oh no, God ain't gonna save you. You got to save yourself. You can't save yourself. Well, what do you just read? The Most High is the one that has the power over the spirits, man. Right here it is. You can be the hardest warrior, this, that, and the other. Hey, you've got that story of Eleazar and the Maccabees, right? He wanted to make a name for himself. So what was he doing? He was he slew this man, slew that man, and slew the elephant. But the Lord was like, I ain't down with that. And the elephant fell on him, man. Why? Because every man is under the direction of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And to think otherwise, that is pride, right? What have we got? What have we got? It says Proverbs 8:13 says, the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy in the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. So the Most High hates pride, man. What have we as men got to be proud? Right, and more so, what has Esau, the so-called white man, got to be proud? Yeah, because see, that's the thing. And the apostles were going into this, a couple weeks ago. That hey, we gotta always remember that it's the Most High that's given this man power. This man hasn't got power of in and of himself. It's the Most High that's made the perfect devil, because he Lord made a perfect devil, man, right? The way he's deceived the world, the way of his witchcraft. It was with Akim watching a documentary right on these people that was talking about equality for animal equality or whatever, or have you, are these chickens are treated bad. The amount of witchcraft that was being pushed was ridiculous. But that's one of his gifts, man, right? This witchcraft to confuse people, to have them follow after his rule, to have them ultimately take the chip, the RFID microchip, man, which is the mark of the beast. Okay? And in that also, in his pride, he's basically made the people to believe in all of these different free will doctrines, to believe that they can do whatever they want, to believe, to have this thing of pride in them. But the Most High is going to bring all that to an end. In fact, let me I was going to get something else, but let me get this real quick. It's around there somewhere. No, it's 18. Second Ezra 15:18. So, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Right? And a lot of these major cities, man, they're proud. They've got a lot of pride to them. Oh yeah, I'm in London. Oh, you're London. Oh, I'm from Paris. All of that bullshit. Now, the Lord's gonna do away with all of that, man, and rightfully so. Because in a lot of these major cities, you see a lot of freaks, man. Where you see a lot of freaks are all up in this do as thou wilt, free will, pride doctrine, man. Okay, and I'm just gonna get one last precept. This is Ezekiel the 28th chapter. I'm gonna start from the top. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, now which this today can be applied to Esau, the so-called white man, right? And we'll prove it in a second. It says, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God. And once again, who's saying that? The kind of person that will say that is the kind of person that would push LGBT, that will push a transgender, that will push abortion. I was, just been meditating on the reason of Arkham, this, that, and the other. In this kingdom, we actually have to tell women why them killing their own children is wicked. Right? That's how disgusting this kingdom is. Right? It says, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Right? It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. And this, once again, this further proving who we're talking about. No other person has come up with some of the things that this man's been able to do. Right? He's basically been able to make it such that two women can have children on their own. Right? Whether it's with a sperm donor or whatever, but still, he's been able to, she's got a part of the baby's got a part of her DNA, what you call the two bitches DNA and all of that. That is a wise man. All right, so there is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Right. So with his understanding, what's he been able to do? He's been able to push his influence out of the world into the world. Right, to assert his dominance by way of his military upon all of these different peoples. Right. This is by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. All right. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, but because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Right? Because when you read through the scriptures, basically the Most High is going to have all of these different nations dropping their ICBM nuclear missiles on America. Right? It says, they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Right? It says, wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God, but thou shalt be a man, and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. And this is one of my favorite precepts. Right? Because right now you can walk with your great pride. You can be like, oh, I do this, I'm in control of that. Right? But in that day, hey, the Lord's going to remind you that you are just a man. Right? So as always, Lord's word, I was edifying. Till next time, shalom.